Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Michael Noon Podcast. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you're having a good month. You know, we've talked about this a little bit. It's January. It's a tough month for everybody. I guess for a lot of times, nothing to look forward to, unless you're looking forward to, Valentine's Day. All right, that's coming up. But again, hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me today. And today I want to talk about something, interestingly enough, I'm going to talk about something I'm a little guilty of recently. But I want to talk about like why you really shouldn't share your ideas too soon with people. Like people always have ideas, right? But why you really shouldn't be sharing your ideas too soon with people. Now I'm a little guilty of this because I have been sharing an idea that I'm thinking about really doing. I'm just waiting for a couple of pieces to fall into place. Not necessarily wait. I'm trying to be proactive about it, but the other people seem to be dragging their feet. And I did it because it's more of a market research thing, but I haven't shared it with the whole world. That's why I haven't really talked about it here. But anyway, again, I want to talk about why you really don't want to share your ideas too soon with people. Because the thing is, ideas are exciting, right? They sort of light up your brain. They make your heart race and they fill you up with hope and of something new, right? Naturally, when inspiration strikes, you want to share it with someone, maybe because you're looking for validation or some sort of support or just a listening ear, right? But here's the truth. Sharing your ideas too early can actually harm your chances of making them a reality. So the thing, it's not that people are out to sabotage you or that you should be secretive about it. It's just more about how our brains and social interactions work. So today I want to talk about why keeping your ideas to yourself, at least in the beginning, might be the best move you can make. Share an idea, your brain can really trick you into feeling like you've already accomplished something, which is recently known as the intention-action gap. It's a concept backed by psychological research that basically says by talking about your plans, you release dopamine, that feel-good chemical associated with achievement. Your brain rewards you for the intention as if you've already followed through on the action. But the result is you feel satisfied without actually having done the work, and that could kill your motivation to basically move forward. And then, of course, when you share too early, there's this social element, right? So the thing is, when you tell someone your idea, you're kind of putting it out there into the world, which opens it up for interpretation. It opens it up for feedback, and often unintentionally, criticism. See, the thing is, when you talk to people about your ideas and things you want to do, most people, they're not willing to take risks, right? So a lot of times people bring their own fears, their biases and limitations into that conversation. They may say things like, oh, wow, that sounds really risky. Or, what if it doesn't work? What about if you lose everything? They're not trying to be malicious, right? They're not trying to rain on your parade. I mean, some people are going to rain on your parade because some people are too terrified to take a risk. And to be honest with you, they're worried about seeing you succeeding. So they'd rather not allow you to do that. And again, share a little bit more of a maybe try to scare tactic into you not doing it. But a lot of times, and it's the other people, they're doing it, again, not because they don't want you to succeed. They're just kind of projecting their own insecurities on you. So even the most well-meaning skepticism can really plant those doubts in your mind. And all of a sudden, that motivation to get things done seems more like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, because they put all this doubt in your mind, right? So there's been these studies on social influence, right, that show that how negative feedback, even when it's the most mild thing, has a stronger psychological impact than positive reinforcement. Now, think about this for a moment. Maybe you've done it yourself, or maybe you see it with other people. I know sometimes I even see this with my kids, right? My kid can have 10 people tell them they're great, they're doing great, that was great, whatever you did was great, this was fantastic. But yet that one person that says, nah, that wasn't very good, tends to be the thing that stays, right? And the reason for that is that it's rooted in something called negativity bias, which I've talked about in the past, which is the tendency for our brains to focus more on that negative experience than positive ones. So even if one person raises a small concern about your idea, it can loom larger in your mind than the support where other people told you, hey, this is a great idea, you should run with it. Another factor too is just the loss of energy that comes from over-explaining. See, ideas are fragile. especially in their early stages, like tiny sparks that sort of need to be nurtured, right? So when you talk about them too much, you risk exhausting the excitement and the energy that fuels the action. Instead of channeling that energy into working on your idea, you spend it explaining, justifying, or debating it with others. Psychologist, I came across this really interesting. This psychologist is, her name is, what was it? Her name was, Gabriel Ertegun. And she did this whole research on mental contrasting, which offers like a helpful perspective of kind of what I'm talking about here, right? See, her study suggests that fantasizing about a goal without planning for its challenges can make people less likely to achieve it. When you share your idea, you're engaging in this kind of fantasizing, focusing on the reward without fully grappling with the effort required to get there. This is also one of the challenges that people can have with the law of attraction, right? People who sit around all day long fantasizing about their future, fantasizing, I got the car, I got the house, I got the girl, I got the money, I got the guy, whatever it is, can actually cause themselves challenges because they're getting that feel good, but they're not putting into the action to actually move forward to get it in the sort of the physicalness and the physical reality of it all. So the question is here, you got an idea, you want to talk about it, or you don't want to talk about it. You know, what's the alternative, right? The alternative really is act first, talk later. Keep your idea close, protect its energy. Just let it grow in a real safe space. See, once you've taken meaningful steps and built some momentum, then you can decide when and how you want to share it. But at this point, you're no longer just talking about an idea. You're actually showing it, or at least moving towards its results. Now, let me back up here. I'm not even talking about like you're opening a business. It could be something like you're just excited about this new health regimen you're going to take, or you're excited about this new course or whatever you're going to start doing. It could be anything like that. What we're saying is get into it and then you can tell people about it. Now, it does get a little risky because like I said, you might be doing a business venture and you might want to seek a little market research. You might want to put out, it's kind of what I've been doing with something I've been working on, is kind of putting it out there. Unfortunately, sometimes you do have to share, but you know, we're very limited in who we're sharing with, right? We're keeping it in a very small, tight circle because again, I'm trying to reduce any of the negative outside influence because it could be a big risk if it ends up moving forward. But at the same time, I also want to make sure that I'm heading in something that, there's not a big pitfall that I'm just completely missing here, right? So again, you can go ahead and talk about this idea once you start sort of moving forward and, you have some sort of results to kind of show for it. I guess the best way to look at this, think of it like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to show all this. Oh, look at my seed. Look how it's doing. You plant it, you water it, you give it sunlight, and you wait patiently for it to sprout. Ideas sort of need that same care and a little bit of that time to develop. All right. So this isn't about, again, being secretive or distrusting others. It's just about recognizing that the first stages of any idea is delicate and they require focus. And by kind of keeping your ideas to yourself, you're not only protecting your idea, but you're also preserving your own confidence and the momentum you need to keep moving forward. All right, so next time you feel the urge to share your latest brilliant idea or endeavor or whatever you're going to do, just pause a little bit. Just pause, because right now, who's listening to this going, wait a second, I've been there. I got really motivated about something I shared, and I never moved ahead. Well, maybe that was it. You lost all the momentum because you talked about it so much, you overexhausted it, or maybe you heard all the negative feedback, or you got all that positive dopamine from talking about it that you never moved forward. But here's the thing, instead of talking about it, just ask yourself, what's that first step I can take? Then go do it. See, the satisfaction of action is far more greater than that fleeting buzz of talking and sharing about it. And it's the only thing that really does turn ideas into reality. You need to take action, and the action will get you there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Quite a spike this week in listenership, which was really nice to see, though I don't really track that stuff because like I talk about, I throw my podcast out to the world. I'm terrible at social media marketing. Yeah, it's just not my thing, people. I don't know. I just, call me naive. I just feel like if I just share it with the world, whoever needs it will find it. So those of you who've been tuning in every week since I've been, what do we, almost 3 years into it? I love being here. I love being here for you. So I appreciate all of you that have been with me. As always, be safe. Have a happy and healthy weekend. And as always, I got nothing but love for you.